Hello, I welcome you all to this lesson where we are going to learn on how to find special angles, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, and 60 degrees. So I'm going to show you how you can find these special angles without using a calculator. So these two triangles are going to help us find these. Before we go any further, you need to know this. There's what we call SOHCAHTOA. You need to know this. There's what we call SOHCAHTOA. You need to know SOHCAHTOA. So what does this mean? So this is sine, this is cos, this is tan. This means that whenever you want to find sine theta is equal to what? Opposite over hypotenuse. This is what you need to know. Have you seen the O which is there and the H which is there? So this is the opposite, this is the hypotenuse. We move to the second one, that is cos. That means that cos theta is equal to, cos is equal to what? A is adjacent over, so A is our adjacent over H, which is the what? Hypotenuse. We move to that last one, which is tan. So that is tan theta. Theta, you know that is an angle, is equal to what? Opposite over adjacent. These are the three things that you need to know. You need to make sure that you understand this. So when we say SOHCAHTOA, this is what we mean. Sine theta is equal to opposite. Opposite there, just sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Cos is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Tan is equal to opposite over adjacent. This is what you need to know, as simple as this. So when we say SOHCAHTOA, you must be able to know this. So now, straight away, let us go to what we want to find. So this is 45. You can find sine 45. You can find cos 45. We can also find tan 45 with this. So here we are given this triangle. Have you seen? This is a triangle we are given with an angle there, 45 degrees. So this is the angle which is given. So this angle is facing this side. This is where we've got the what? The opposite. Have you seen where this thing is pointing? It's pointing this thing is pointing this side. This is where we've got the hypotenuse. So we've got the hypotenuse there. Then this one here, no option, but it will be called adjacent. We are going to call it adjacent. So in a case where you want to find, let us start with sine 45. How can you find sine 45? Sine, you go to sine. Sine, we said that it was what? Opposite over hypotenuse. What is my opposite? Opposite is 1. So opposite 1 over what? Hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is root 2. Have you seen like this? So sine 45 is equal to 1 over 2. This one can also be written as root 2 over 2, like this. So these two are just the same. Some people will tell you that sine 45 is 1 over root 2, which is just the same as root 2 over 2. These two are just the same. You need to make sure that you understand that part. Let us move to cos 45. Cos 45, how can you find cos 45? So cos 45, we go to cos. Cos is here. This is where cos is. So cos, we said that adjacent over hypotenuse. What is my adjacent? Adjacent is 1. 1 over. 1 over what? Hypotenuse is root 2. So I put my root 2 there like this. Have you seen? So this is the answer that I found. This is the same as 1 over root 2 is the same as root 2 over 2. These two are just the same. Don't be confused. So when I tell you that sine 45 is root 2 over 2 and someone tells you it's 1 over root 2, don't even argue. It's just one and the same thing. We move to tan 45. How can we find tan 45? So we move to tan 45. How can we find tan 45? How can we find tan 45? Tan, we said that it is what? Opposite over adjacent. We are still on this. Opposite is 1. Adjacent is 1. Have you seen? So it is giving us 1 over 1. 1 over 1, it is what? 1. The answer is 1. Have you seen? So this is the first phase that you need to understand with the 45. Just like this, you are done. Have you seen? So these things are supposed to be known under the Zambian syllabus. Paper 1, where these questions come, you are not supposed to use a calculator. So you are supposed to know these things. The same way I'm generating them, this is the same way you are supposed to know them. So make sure you know them, understand them clearly. These are special angles that you need to know. So I've just showed you how to come up with these using these formulas that I wrote down there. Hope you've understood and you've seen how I was answering this. So now we go to this triangle. So I'll move to this triangle. So this is the triangle. I'll start by a 30. I'll start with a 30. So let me start with finding a 30 degrees. So this one is facing this direction. So this direction where it is facing, this is the opposite. The angle is facing this direction. The angle 30 degrees. Forget about the 60 for now. Let us concentrate on the 30. Opposite. Where this thing is pointing, that is hypotenuse. Then this one is adjacent. No option. After you've named hypotenuse and opposite, the other side is called the adjacent. So you've got the opposite, the angle is there. This is opposite. Have you seen? Where this thing is pointing, there, that is where the hypotenuse is. So we are on the 30. Let us start with sine 30. How can we find sine 30? How can we find sine 30? Sine 30 is equal to what? Opposite over hypotenuse. Sine 30 is there. Opposite is 1. So 1 over hypotenuse. What is my hypotenuse? 2. So I put my 2 there. Which means that sine 30 is equal to 1 over 2. I move to cos. I will say cos 30. So I'm still on the 30. What is my cos 30? What is my cos 30? Cos is here. So cos 30 is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. What is my adjacent? Adjacent is root 3 there. Root 3 over what? Hypotenuse, which is 2. So I do this. So this is root 3 over 2. This is how I get to find. So cos 30 is root 3 over 2. I move to tan. So tan 30 is equal to what? Tan 30. So tan is equal to opposite over adjacent. The opposite is what? Opposite is 1. Opposite is 1. So I say 1 over. What is my adjacent? Adjacent is root 3. So I put my root 3 there like that. Have you seen? So these things which I've written here, these are special angles that you need to know. You need to know them. So I've answered for 30. Sine 30 is 1 over 2. Cos 30 is root 3 over 2. Tan 30 is 1 over root 3. This is what you are supposed to know. This is what you need to understand. So this is under trigonometry. Don't say, these questions, me, I won't answer them. The good part with mathematics is that once you understand this, this will also open your mind to be sharp on other topics. This is the good part about mathematics, because all the topics in mathematics are interrelated. So this is what you need to know and understand. I move to the 60, angle 60. So I am going to lab these because they won't work for the 60. I lab these like this. So I'm now talking about the schist there. I'm now talking about the schist which is there. Have you seen? This is a schist. Schist is facing this direction. This is where the opposite is. Opposite for schist. I'm now on the schist. Forget about the 30 degrees. Then where this thing is pointing, this is the hypotenuse. Then this one will be called adjacent. Have you seen where this is post? It is facing opposite. This is the opposite. Where this thing is pointing, the 90 thing is pointing, that is the hypotenuse. Then this one is adjacent. So I start with sine schist. How can I find sine schist? Sine schist is equal to what? I say opposite over hypotenuse. Have you seen? What is my opposite? My opposite is root 3. So I say root 3 over. What is my hypotenuse? My hypotenuse is 2. This is what I need to do. I found that one. I move to cos. Cos schist is equal to. Cos schist is equal to. So this is equal to what? I say, okay, adjacent over hypotenuse. What is adjacent? Adjacent is 1 over hypotenuse 2. So it's 1 over 2, which is the same as 0.5. And the last one, which is the tan. Tan what? Tan schist is equal to what? Tan schist is equal to what? What is tan schist? What is tan schist? Tan schist is equal to what? What is tan schist? Tan schist, what are you supposed to do? Tan, opposite. Where is the opposite? Root 3. Have you seen? Over. What is adjacent? 1. So 1 there. Is it fine to put a 1 there? Even if you like 1 into root 3, it's 1. So just the same as root 3. Have you seen? Instead of saying like this, then if you want, you can do, okay, let me just do this. Maybe someone can be confused. So here, I'm going to find the root 3. So these are the special angles that you need to know. You need to understand all these special angles. This is how we get to find the special angles. So make sure you understand this. You get the necessary concept on this. So let's understand this clearly. We understand this. This is how we get to find special angles. So I also did a video using your fingers. So if using your fingers is hard, then this is the other video that you need to know. But if you are used to using fingers, the good part with fingers is that you can also find 0 degrees, you can find 90 degrees. Here, I've just taught you how to find 30, 45, and 60. So if you are looking for a video where you can find these special angles by just using your fingers, you can check it out on this same channel. You are going to find that video where you can use your fingers. Thank you so much. Those of you that are under my teachings, I gave you that video. So you choose now. You'll be using this method or fingers. And if you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe. And for those of you that are looking for tuitions, you want to enroll for tuitions at an affordable fee with me, you can WhatsApp me on this number. Then I'll be able to add you to the group. I'll teach you, I'll prepare you for your exams. Thank you so much.